down at my table, I am scrolling through some Modigliani paintings that I absolutely love, and I think that one right there is going to be my inspiration for painting in my junk mail journal. And I just love Modigliani. I don't know if anybody else likes him as much as I do. My sister Diane loved him, and that's why this is an homage to him and to my sister Diane. All right, I am just loosely sketching. I'm not going to make it an exact replica, but I am going to stay pretty true to the overall feel of his painting. And it's the woman sitting on a bed, has a little nightstand or table next to her, and I just love it. I really do. And I was just feeling like doing a master today in my junk mail journal. See, I could use this junk mail journal for any number of things. All right, I've got some colored pencils out and my Neocolor IIs out, and I decided that instead of pencil, I really would like some of this pink, this hot pink or magenta, to show through the drawing or the painting at the end. And not all of it does. I never allow all of it to show through, but some of it will. And that's why I'm going over it with my Neocolors. And because they are water soluble, I am applying water and I'm toning the paper with it. And that way, more of the pink, I have more opportunity to allow that magenta to shine through at the end. I'm just wetting it and moving it around the page. I have this junk mailer. If you remember back, a couple of episodes back, I did this junk mail, a junk mail pamphlet came in the mail, and I gessoed it, and I have been working in it. And why not? It's the ultimate in recycling. Why throw it away and it ends up in a waste, in a landfill? Why not use it? I'm going to be collaging over this, and I'm going to be using my Liquitex acrylic matte gel medium, that right there. And I'm going to use some papers that I have already painted or gel printed and selected. There's my houses that I did in a different video. I am going to apply some of that fixative. It's by Spectrafix. I'm going to apply it so that the Neocolor II crayons don't activate with the gel medium. Because they are water soluble, they will reactivate when I put a wet medium on it. All right, I've selected my papers. I'm zooming out. There are some of the papers that I'm going to be using. I'm going to get my Modigliani reference right there so that I know where I'm going. And I'm choosing, what do I want to do? I want to try to stay pretty close to the colors, but of course, it's not going to look like a Modigliani 100%. It's going to be my version of Modigliani, but I do like that blue. And I am just going to now go through this and tear the papers. I really love the physical act of tearing the papers, fitting them together, almost like a puzzle. I do like this. I feel like I am not sculpting, but doing like a mosaic, which is a lot of fun. And of course, I can add paint on top of it if I so choose. I'm using a tweezer. So the only tools that I'm using now are paper, my Neocolor II crayons, a tweezer, and my Liquitex acrylic matte gel medium. All right, I'm going to put some music on so you could watch me tear and glue. Of course, you can use any glue that you'd like. You could use Mod Podge, Elmer's, any white PVA, anything that's going to dry clear. You could use a glue stick. I will say this, if you're using a heavier paper, you might want to use something a little thicker than a watered down glue, because it'll just help hold the paper in place better. That's been my experience, at least. That would be my advice. All right, I'm going to put some music on and let you watch me build my version of Modigliani's Lady Sitting on the Bed. I'm going to have to look up the actual title of that painting. And enjoy. That was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. And I really loved tweaking the colors that I had on the collage with my Neocolor II water-soluble crayons. That was fantastic. If you liked this, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, and come back and join me inside my studio the next time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you coming to see me inside my studio. Here's the girl. Love her. Bye.